Buckle up! Some of your favorite video game characters are hiding some disturbing and dark secrets. Ever wonder if Luigi might be evil? Or maybe GLaDOS is what we're secretly all fearing with AI? And believe it or not, reversing sound files in Half-Life 2 could give you nightmares. From fan theories to hidden Easter eggs, and even some scrapped backstories, today we're diving into some of the most sinister and weird backstories from your favorite video games that you might not even have heard about. Trust me, you'll want to stick around until the end. Some of these are seriously creepy. And of course, this video will contain spoilers, so I'm gonna try to keep some chapters down here so you can jump around if you don't want to be spoiled on a specific game I talk about today. Let's kick things off with something outright bizarre. The 1999 game California Speed. Sure, the box art alone is cringy enough, but what most people always will remember about this game is a hidden message that left out people creeped out for years. While speeding through the Mojave Desert phase, most people actually miss this. If you stop your car, yes, stopping your car on a racing game, you'd find a chilling message on one of the billboards.
Sometimes God takes mummies and puppies away, and sometimes, just sometimes, I do.
As disturbing as it sounds, the truth behind this creepy message is far less sinister. It turns out that the developers were just on a tight deadline, and one of the textural artists, Morgan Godot, threw this billboard as a placeholder. He was never expecting this to make into the final game. In an interview several years later after the game was released, he talked to reporters. I'd love to tell you that there was some mystical reason behind this that would get people excited, but it's fairly mundane. As we were in a tight situation to even get the most basics of the game stood up on the N64, we didn't have anything handy or relevant to put on the billboards. So I plugged in a placeholder billboard texture so effing stupid there will be no way it could possibly be confused for a real shipping asset. And now, 18 years later, I'm informed via YouTube that my placeholder texture never got replaced. And as someone who works in software development, I've seen that happen many times in my career. Teaching you the lesson, don't write stupid code. It might get shipped. Now onto a game that lives and breathes horror, Dead by Daylight. But trust me, it might be even more terrifying than you realize. The basic concept of the game is simple. One player takes the role of the killer, and his main objective is to kill other 4 players called the survivors. The survivors must do generators to escape this trial, otherwise they get sacrificed to a thing called the entity. And as survivors, even if you escape, you are doomed to be staying on this purgatory, repeating this process over and over. Now the creepiest thing in this game isn't that Nicolas Cage is there as himself, but while you play the game you get to unlock some backstories, and one of these backstories is about Rin Yamaoka, aka the Spirit. Her backstory is heartbreaking. The only child of a family drowning in debt, her and her father were working tirelessly to help after her mother got ill. One night, Rin returns home, only to hear her mother's screams and find out that she's been brutally murdered by her father. Rin tries to fight back, but is also horrifically killed by her father. Her arms, abdomen, and thighs get slashed. As she lays there dying and consumed by rage, the entity takes her to the realm and transforms her into the Spirit. This tragic origin story explains her powers and her looks in the game. And now that a Dead by Daylight movie is in the works, here's me hoping that Rin's story gets a chance in the big screen. And who knows? Maybe Nicolas Cage is gonna be there too. Before we jump into the next disturbing game theory, I'll kindly ask you, if you're enjoying this video, please give a like and subscribe to the channel for more weird and, downright bizarre game content. And hey, if you know any disturbing video game backstory, please leave them in the comment section below. Now let's lighten things up, sort of, by talking about Luigi. Yes, our beloved Luigi from Nintendo. Over the years, fans have cooked up many theories about Luigi. One of those is that he is actually dead in the game Luigi's Mansion. Now this is just a fan theory, so take it with a grain of salt. But the whole idea is based on this creepy shadow that looks like Luigi is hanging from a ceiling. The game was originally developed just to show off GameCube's capabilities, so maybe this was just another developer oversight, much like what happened in California Speed. But given Luigi's Mansion's eerie atmosphere, maybe his whole journey is even more personal than it seems. Maybe one day Nintendo will confirm it, or probably just keep laughing at us. But speaking of games that keeps us guessing, Valve's Portal is supposed to be a puzzle game, not a horror game, right? In this game you play as Shell, a silent protagonist navigating this eerie facility controlled by a sinister AI called GLaDOS. What the game doesn't tell you right away is that GLaDOS was originally a woman named Carolyn, the secretary of Aperture Science founder Cave Johnson. Originally, it was Cave himself that was supposed to be uploaded into GLaDOS, but he died before the transfer could happen, leaving instructions to how Carolyn should take his place. In unused audio files, you can hear Carolyn pleading that she doesn't want this.
Sir, I do not want this.
Implying that her consciousness was uploaded against her will. While GLaDOS never fully acknowledges being a woman named Carolyn, only referring to Carolyn in the third person, the clues are there, and they suggest that this transformation wasn't exactly voluntary. Makes you wonder, what other dark secrets was the facility hiding after all? Speaking about Valve games that are supposed to be creepy, Half-Life. In Half-Life 2, you play as Gordon Freeman, another silent protagonist trying to save humanity from an alien invasion. Along the way, you'll encounter these head crab zombies, which are humans that have been taken over by these parasitic creatures. Yeah, it's gross. But it gets worse. Sometimes these zombies will be on fire, and when they scream, it's terrifying. But here's the thing. Those screams are actually reversed audio. The audio is far more unsettling when played unreversed, but fair warning, it gets really creepy. And if you're up for it, I'll play a sample. If you're watching this video at 2 in the morning, you might want to mute the volume. Audio is far more unsettling when played unreversed. It's a horrifying experience suggesting that the zombies are conscious, suffering, and aware of their fate. Which means putting them down is more of a mercy than anything. Now let's go ahead to the last one in the list, and just talking about this last one actually makes me feel uneasy. Now, I love horror, and I might explain why in a future video, but I usually don't get scared anymore. Playing, reading, watching, whatever. But the demo by Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro, that thing still gives me nightmares. This free PS4 game is infamous by the eerie atmosphere. You'll be walking through this endless hallway. Once you finally equip a flashlight, you start hearing creaks, moans, you start seeing shadows. You'd look around left, right, up, down, behind you, nothing. Until a guy that goes by the name Man Fight Dragon finally hacked the camera and show you that Liza is always behind you. Yeah, that's right. From the moment you equip a flashlight, Liza is literally attached to your back. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your tolerance for horror, PT was supposed to be only a teaser for a game called Silent Hills, which never got released. Over the years, fans have recreated, relaunched it, and one modder actually added it to Half-Life Alyx, which is a VR game, by the way. That is going to be a big nope for me. But if you're interested, I'm gonna leave a link to the mod on the description. And that's gonna be it for today's video. Which disturbing story shocked you the most? Or is there something I missed that you might want to watch in the next video? Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you on the next video where we're going to be having a more lighthearted discussion about why you should never buy from Pierre on Stardew Valley. Alright, bye!